Have you ever heard of a man who wore a sanitary pad? It sounds strange, right? But this is the true story of a man who did just that. Not as a joke, but to change the lives of millions of women. This is the story of Arunachalam Muruganantham, the real-life Padman of India. Arunachalam grew up in a poor family in a small village in Tamil Nadu. He wasn't highly educated, and nobody expected him to become a world-changing inventor. But he had a heart full of love and a burning desire to solve problems. His life took a dramatic turn shortly after he got married. One day, he saw his wife Shanti trying to hide something. It was a bundle of dirty, ragged cloths. When he asked her about it, she shyly explained that she used these during her period because store-bought sanitary pads were a luxury they couldn't afford. This hit Arunachalam like a thunderbolt. He was deeply troubled. His wife, the person he loved most, was using unhygienic rags that could cause infections, all because sanitary pads were too expensive. He felt a mix of anger and shame. He couldn't accept this reality. In that moment, he made a promise to himself and to her. He would create a low-cost, high-quality sanitary pad for her, for all women who faced the same struggle. He had no idea where to start. He knew nothing about manufacturing, absorbent materials, or product design. But that didn't stop him. His quest began. He bought a regular sanitary pad from the store to study it. He tore it apart and found it was mostly made of cotton. It's just cotton, he thought. This shouldn't cost so much. So he bought some cotton, wrapped it in cloth, and gave his first handmade pad to his wife to try. She came back and told him it was useless. It was a complete failure. But Arunachalam wasn't discouraged. He knew this was just the beginning. He started experimenting relentlessly. After his day job as a welder, he would spend his nights in a small workshop, trying to create the perfect pad. He tested different types of cotton and materials. He even tried to get his sisters and female medical students to test his prototypes, but they were too embarrassed to talk to him about it. How could he get honest feedback if no one would even try his product? This is where his journey took an even stranger turn. He realized he had to test the pads himself. He created a makeshift uterus using a football bladder and filled it with goat's blood. He would attach this to his waist with a tube running down to the pad he was wearing, and walk, cycle, and run around to simulate a woman's period and test the pad's absorbency. Can you imagine a man in a small, conservative village walking around with a contraption leaking animal blood? The villagers started to notice his bizarre behavior. They saw him washing bloody cloths by the public well. Rumors spread like wildfire. People thought he had gone insane or was possessed by evil spirits. Children would run away from him. His neighbors openly mocked him. "He's a pervert," they whispered. The social pressure was immense. His own mother couldn't handle the shame and left him. And then, the person for whom he started this entire journey, his wife Shanti, also gave up on him. She believed the rumors and thought he had truly lost his mind. She served him with divorce papers and left. Arunachalam was completely alone. He had lost his wife, his family, his friends, and his reputation. Everyone thought he was a failure, a madman. Most people would have given up right there, but Arunachalam was different. He was fueled by his mission. He believed that what he was doing was right, and that it was more important than what anyone thought of him. He told himself, if something is wrong in society, someone has to fix it. Even if that someone is all alone. He continued his research for years, living in poverty, often skipping meals to save money for materials. He wrote letters to big multinational companies, asking for samples of the processed wood pulp used in their pads. It took him 2 long years just to figure out what the main material was. Finally, he built his own set of simple, small machines to grind, defibrate, press, and sterilize the wood pulp into clean, effective sanitary pads. The whole setup was genius in its simplicity. It was low cost, easy to operate, and could be run with minimal training. After nearly 5 years of relentless struggle, failure, and isolation, he had done it. He had created a machine that could produce high-quality sanitary pads for a fraction of the market price. He submitted his invention to a national innovation competition and, to his surprise, he won. Suddenly, The man who was once ridiculed as a village lunatic was being celebrated as a national hero, but Arunachalam wasn't interested in fame or personal wealth. He refused to sell his invention to big corporations for millions of dollars. His goal was never to become rich. His goal was to empower women. He started traveling across India, taking his machines to the poorest, rural areas. He taught groups of women how to operate the machines and set up their own small businesses, producing and selling affordable pads in their communities. His invention did more than just provide a hygienic product. It sparked a revolution. It created jobs for rural women, giving them financial independence and a sense of pride. It broke the silence and taboo surrounding menstruation, allowing girls to stay in school and women to work without interruption or shame. His wife Shanti eventually learned the truth about his incredible journey. She came back to him, this time filled with immense pride and respect for the man she had once left. Arunachalam Murugantham's story is a powerful reminder that you don't need a fancy degree, a lot of money, or the approval of others to make a difference. All you need is a compassionate heart, an unbreakable spirit, and the courage to do what is right, even when the whole world is against you. He faced humiliation and despair, but he never lost sight of his purpose. Because of one man's love for his wife, millions of women across India and beyond now live with more dignity, health, and opportunity. His life proves that true greatness comes from empathy, persistence, and the will to create a better world for others. Thank you so much for watching. If this story inspired you, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more stories of incredible people who changed the world. See you next time.